Hello, the internet.
Yep.
My name is John. I'm alongside Elazar and Sean.
Yep, I'm Sean.
We are those video guys.
guys.
We are live from the Electric at Notting Hill.
Yep.
Can you believe it? The world famous Notting Hill. We are watching the very best videos on the internet.
Portobello Road.
It's the famous Portobello Road. We are watching. We are watching the very best videos on the internet. We have had major catastrophes. You cannot believe the trouble we have gone through to bring this show. We apologise, but we are here. We are live. We are watching the very best videos on the internet so that you don't have to. But we hope that you will. We are here in Notting Hill. Did I mention that? We're here in Notting Hill.
Okay.
We're at the and I do believe the Electric Cinema, isn't it the oldest cinema in the world?
That can't be right.
Oh, really?
No, just saying it in a voice doesn't make it true, Sean. I don't think
I'm
that
pretty
is.
sure
It might be true.
Well,
We might
how
be
many
actually
cinemas-
sitting
I
in
don't
the-
believe it's the first cinema. I believe it's the oldest still functioning cinema in the world.
Ah,
this is why
right.
every time they try and turn it into a nightclub, people
someone
protest and
complains.
get very passionate about it.
Regardless,
I remember seeing Heathers. I went to a Winona Ryder double bill here when I was a
Heathers
teenager.
again.
Heathers. Oh, classic movie.
is it?
Heathers and Great Balls of Fire.
Regardless,
Winona Ryder.
we are here in Notting Hill. We are a couple of guys looking into a webcam, asking a couple of geeks to love us. Please,
Yeah.
we are looking at some of the best shows. We have got.
And if Winona
two-
Ryder's watching, please love me.
Well, check in the chat room, Sean. Is she watching?
I don't know.
I don't think she is, unless she's got a pseudonym. I don't think she
Yes.
is.
She can be guest 5.
We're looking at 2 new web series, plus, instead of the Bitleys, we are looking at a very special new competition that was launched. We'll tell you a bit about it later on in the show, but basically, we've got a whole heap of web pilots that we're going to be looking at, and hopefully, who knows, we might be seeing the future of the next big thing on the internet.
Well,
later in
yes,
the show.
that would be quite exciting if we did.
It would be, guys.
So this week's the superhero special.
It's a superhero
We have
special.
superheroes.
Well, we've got 2 superhero web series, and let's start off with the first one, Heroes of the North.
Yeah.
We may or may not have a clip for it. Elazar is doing live editing here, thanks to the wonders of Ustream Pro. We are really delighted to be here on this platform. Elazar, have we got a clip or
We
not?
do.
Excellent.
Listen, can you feel it? The storm is rising. The day of the last great battle is dawning.
You see, this country has had its share of great soldiers. Your grandfather, for example, was one of them. We do know that Medusa agents are currently heavily active in Montreal. I'm assigning the Canadian and yourself to recruit a task force.
That's Heroes of the North, to be found on heroesofthenorth.com. Sean, I know you saw this series,
Yes.
Canadian series. Do you want to tell
Yes,
us
it's
a little bit
Canadian.
about
It's
it?
nothing to do with the north of England or miners or pits or Christopher Eccleston or anything like that. It's a Canadian superhero series. It's very similar to, say, something like Captain America. It starts off in World War II.
It does, and that was really impressive, actually.
And actually, it was the
made
production values of this are
Yeah.
great.
The first episode is all set in World War II, and then the first 6 episodes are basically origin
An
stories
introduction of each one of the team.
superhero character on the team.
Yes. And they're a team of superheroes, and they all look like they've been to Ann Summers because they're all in these kind of like PVC, very kinky.
It is a very kinky series.
I did
Yes.
wonder why you were so keen to include this particular series, Elazar. And now we found out the answer. What kind of superhero powers can we enjoy in this series?
Super strength or the
Nordic,
usual
she's got
ones,
like
yes.
the ice. She can turn things to ice. You know, I mean, they're powers that we've probably seen.
But they're very generic. I
They're
mean,
very
the
generic.
main
Yeah.
character is very Captain America-ish,
Yes.
except for he's more of a captain in Canada. type character, right down to a World
And he
War
swears
II origin.
more than Captain America.
There's a lot of
A
swearing
lot
in
of
both the
swears.
superhero shows. I mean, Stan Lee, I don't know if he would approve.
And they've got like a
But,
Punisher type of character as well,
yes.
wasn't he? Was it 8 Ball?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's sort of, yeah.
He's the guy who witnesses his girlfriend being murdered and
I mean,
goes
for me,
mental.
because you do these origins, one for in each episode, the story doesn't actually really kick into episode 7, so it does take a while.
It still worked for me because it nicely introduced each character, their powers, and there was a lot of action going on, and it held my interest.
There is a lot of action, you know. They've got gunfire, they've got special effects, fight scenes. There's
effects
always
are
a fight
excellent.
scene in every episode.
Yeah.
Well, guys, what I want you to do is just imagine a purely hypothetical situation that I have never seen a single episode of this show. Why don't you tell us? Is it a straight action series? Is there any comedy? Is it romantic?
No, there's a lot of comedy.
A lot of comedy.
It is very funny. They're doing it with their tongue firmly in the cheek, you know.
So I think that's the only way you can approach
absolutely.
it.
It's people running around in PVC.
PVC.
You know, I thought that the costumes were a bit too samey because they were all wearing black PVC. I did want to see some colour.
Yeah.
You know, and it does look like if you watch the trailer that in some of the subsequent episodes coming later,
and even the bad guys are in that kind of gear as well.
You know, there is going to be a bit more sort of colourful costumes, but I think all black. They, you know, considering that actually they weren't a team to start off with, they all somehow had the same costume already before they've even actually sort of consulted and become a team.
Maybe they share a superhero tailor. Perhaps there's one. Okay, well,
And
guys,
Summers.
20 live action episodes, but there's also 8 comic books and a diary
The
and
comic
video
books,
games.
The
Video
comic
games
book's
are in
great. I mean, it's really well drawn, very professional
You
looking.
can download them or you can buy hard copies.
Yeah, and I thought that was a very clever way of supplementing it. Is that it's a superhero series, but it's actually got its own comic book, which gives it a good kind of background to it.
And I think actually the
But
character.
there's a lot of sex in the comic book as well that you're not actually getting in the show itself. Yes.
And what's the deal with these books? Are they on the website as well?
They're on the
Yes, they're on the
website, or you can
website.
order a hard copy down, you know, and have it sent to you as well.
Cool. So they're obviously looking for revenue streams, and again, that's one of
They're
the
looking
questions
at different
that
revenue
I'm always
streams.
asking: is how do you actually make money
Yeah.
from doing a show on the internet? And I guess
They're taking the
answering
show
that
on the road. They're going to conventions. They're really building up a fan base. You know, as a comic book series should be. You know, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to admire it. They've done it very, very well.
Is it the first of its kind?
Very
do you think,
slick.
or-
I don't think it's the first of its kind, but it's
There have
probably
been other Canadian superheroes, and there are. I don't know. We had some problems trying to find some superhero shows on the net, though. I mean, I think the problem if you're going to do a superhero show, it can't be like certain other shows where you just get some actors together and locations. You need to have special effects expertise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because,
And they do have this.
And you can't just go and buy the clothes they're going to wear, and then you've got to have somebody who's going to design the clothes and make the costumes and everything.
and all
you're gonna need
their
special effects.
superhero costumes. They're all custom made for this
Yes.
show. They haven't just gone out to a PVC shop and bought stuff. They've actually ordered specific designs
Okay.
for these characters.
Well, like we said, there's 20 episodes on the internet. Are there more in the pipeline, or is it going to live on in comic book form? Or?
Well, they've reached about episode 11 out of 20, so
I see, so there will be 20 in
altogether.
total.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is Heroes of the North, and you can find it exclusively on heroesofthenorth.com. Please
And on
check it out.
Coldcast as well.
Podcast.
Will we cheer? Will we give
Of
a
course.
clinks?
Absolutely. Heroes of
Clinks
the North.
around. Cheers.
Cheers.
We say
Three
cheers
cheers.
in England. Cheers.
Wow.
Wow. Gosh, golly. We really are in Notting Hill, believe me. Whew. Okay, that was Heroes of the North. Coming up next, we looked at another, like we say, we had a superhero theme.
Yes.
And we're going to the other end of the budget spectrum with this series
Yes,
of videos.
indeed.
And that is by no means a knock.
No.
It's not a
I
knock
actually
for
didn't
me.
really notice much of a budget change for this, apart from the ones all in PVC.
Well, it's called
there
the-
may have been a budget.
The
They
show
didn't have
is
a World War
called,
II
Sean,
opening.
please, the show is called The Dirty Do-Gooders. You can find it on dirtydogooders.com or youtube.com/dirtydogooders. 7 parts make up episode 1, and I have just watched every single part of that last night, and they are going to be making 2 more episodes to come. Elazar, you chose this series, so do you want to just tell us a little bit about
So
it?
this is an earthquake hits, and you have 4 friends, 4 geeks, male guys, and the little.
See, I find that kind of setup hard to relate to be honest with you,
Yeah.
Elazar. I can't
They're
relate
more
to
They're
that.
basically
Yeah.
4 guys in a room. They
Yeah.
they read comic books together, and they kind of.
There's a lot of comic book. I mean, throughout
And-
in each bedroom, there's Hellboy comics and Army of Darkness
It's
posters.
full. It's full of in jokes and
Yeah.
stuff. So they're in this room at the time of this earthquake hitting.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning they wake up and they've got
and they all have magical powers, and they know not what to do with them. Elisa, we got a clip of that.
We do
Let's
indeed.
check it out.
I got it. Flash pizzazz.
No.
What you're saying is we should put on costumes, run around, fight crime?
Yes, that is exactly what I am saying.
So you're like Yoda, and she's like Luke Skywalker.
Oh God, they're nerds.
Who else is here? Me!
Me?
A little Batman, don't you think?
And that's a bad thing?
In other news, a family was found murdered in an alley in downtown Milton last night.
Well, that was the trailer for the web series there, and that is, like we say, Dirty Do-Gooders. You can look at dirtydogooders.com. They basically made up episode 1, which is a sort of 33, 35-minute thing, and split it into 7 chunks, 7 short YouTube videos.
And there's going to be 3 episodes in total of about 7 chunks.
So the first episode is the origin story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually them getting their powers, but actually discovering what they can do with their powers.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I felt this was one of the hindrances for me with watching it, because it was split up into 7 parts. Was it takes a bit of a while to get going.
Into,
I got into it, but you're waiting for them to be in costumes, to be using their powers. But it takes about 5 parts in part 1 before you actually get to that point. So
You're right. I mean, like you say, they do. To be fair to them, it is called episode 1. But I actually think it would work as one episode, like a 30-minute video. It did feel to me, watching it all in one go as I did yesterday, that it kept kind of stopping and starting and never quite found its flow. But I'm sure that maybe if you're watching it as it comes out.
The thing that I did like though is very influenced by, I felt, the work of Simon Pegg. It reminded me of Spaced or something like that. The way the editing was done, the way the humour was done.
Episode 1 has the Edgar Wright editing. Transitions, definitely.
So it really reminded me of that kind of. I always felt like I was watching like Spaced or Shaun of the Dead from those makers. If it was they did a superhero show, it seemed to remind me a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I also like the way, a bit like the TV series Heroes, that they had all the lettering and the typeface and everything like that, giving it a visual comic book feel.
The meanwhile.
Yes, all that. So I thought they were very good in utilising the medium quite well to give this series
and of course,
a visual comic book feel.
They don't do the same kind of costumes that you have in Heroes and North.
They're like Rorschach.
They do Rorschach costumes.
It's like a Rorschach.
I suppose that's what most guys would do, wouldn't they?
Yes.
You've done Rorschach.
You just walk around the streets dressed
sometimes
as Rorschach,
with the end is nice. Mostly I dress up as Doctor Doom though.
I can believe that. It's actually a funny show as well.
It was funny.
It probably made me laugh.
The humour.
It's a comedy. It is a comedy.
It's comedy. It's very funny. It's very character orientated. As I said, the only thing that I would say is a minus side is it takes a little while before the superheroics get going. But I'd say stick with it. It's worth sticking.
For
with.
episode 7, when they're actually taking.
Oh no, that's
the
when it takes off, and you can't. I can't wait.
It's
for the
actually
next.
it's very funny the way they actually take on the bad guys. It's they're all they've one's got invisibility, one's got telekinesis. What else we got? We had
they had all
super
manner
strength,
of crazy
a super
powers,
strength guy who just breaks everything because he actually doesn't know how to control. And of course, that's part of it. They're sort of having to learn their powers by not actually. And one of them wants to exploit them, and
we actually got in contact with one of the people behind this series, Trin Miller.
Yes, the producer.
And what did he have to say for himself?
She.
What did she have to say for herself?
Well, she was explaining that, of course, we have the 3 episodes to come. This is the first episode, and Trin is actually also, I believe, in the series as well.
Yeah.
Although I think she comes in mostly in the second.
Later in the
second episode. And she describes it as dorks with superpowers, and they are dorks.
They are dorks, and indeed,
in fact,
that's where a lot of
you could have been in this series.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean, Alyssa, but I'll take that as a compliment. There's just funny stuff.
It's fun. I enjoyed it. It's if you like superheroes, you like geekdom, this is a perfect marriage.
Yeah.
A match made in heaven.
Indeed.
Well, let's give it 3 cheers
Of course.
to the Dirty Do-Gooders. You can find it at dirtydogooders.com. 3 cheers. Now, up next, as you may know if you've seen the show before, and I'm guessing by the number of people in the chat room, some of you
Yes.
haven't, we would normally be looking at the top 5 most tweeted and retweeted videos of the week. We call them the Bitleys.
Yeah.
And they are, the crazy videos that you send to your friends in the office to, relieve the boredom of the day at work. But today, something a little bit different. There is a new competition, Celebrate the Web, Raising the Bar. It is basically, Alice, I don't know if you've been involved in this before, but you know a little bit about it. But there is a competition. Teams were given, was it 5 days or 7
They were
working
given
days?
7
Create a
days
pilot.
from the
Create a
start
web
right to
pilot.
the finish.
And they had to have a line in it. What is it?
William Gibson.
Yes, that
Time moves in one direction,
and
memory in
moves
another.
in another direction. So you have to have that line in it somewhere. They've got to use a prop in there.
They put the
as
prop of
well.
the globe
Yeah.
and the number 42.
So currently on the
Which is,
website,
of course, the meaning of life 42.
Of course.
So currently on the website, celeratetheweb.com, the top 13 of those pilots
It was
Yeah.
the
13
13 that
pilots
was submitted, yeah.
are on there, and you can vote for your favourite. We've looked at all of them.
And
We've
you can-
chosen our favourite 5 or 6.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're going to have a look at some of them now.
And they could win 500. Is it $500?
$500, but they also
get
get a pitch meeting with Blip TV
right.
as well.
Blip TV,
So-
no kidding. And who's Blip TV?
Blip TV, like Coldcast, is one of the platforms where you can showcase your series.
I see. So big things to come potentially. We've been looking at a lot of pilots. They're all about 5 minutes in length. At the moment they're at the pilot stage. They were made for next to no money. They were made
7
in
days.
7 days.
Some of them don't look like they were made.
No, not at
So,
all. There's
so-
very, very high production values and some great scripting as well, considering the amount of time.
Yeah.
Alistair, you're doing the live editing. Which one shall we look at first?
I mean, we were supposed to do a top 5, but it was actually really hard, and so we've kind of sneaked in 6 on this
That's
one.
fine. You're entitled to do that. As the
So-
show's executive producer, you're entitled to make that decision, I think.
So joint 5th,
Mhm.
we have, let's see if we can get the clip running.
Well, joint 5th is, I'm assuming you're going to show us, it's a
It's
cardboard,
a cardboard
life.
life,
Yeah.
yes.
So let's see if we've got a clip for that.
Here we go.
To be like.
A favorite quote of mine, and one quite fitting for your situation right now, Susan, is time moves in one direction, memory in another. Of course, that.
What is it? Yeah, that's fine.
No, I'm good.
But is
Need
it
a shower.
slow? Is it lagging? Yeah, it won't. That's fine.
No, she smells like strawberry. Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on, man. Hold on. Hey, you got some change, man?
No. Again, not really.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know.
You know what?
Hold on a second.
I see you here every day, sitting on your ass, feeding off people like me who work for a living. Why don't you get a frickin' job?
Yeah. I'll get right on that.
Used to be like.
A favorite quote of
Okay, that's it. It's a Cardboard Life, directed by Brian Beacock.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was a fun one with some obvious jokes.
It was really
perhaps,
funny.
But it was
I
quite
thought
good.
it was funny.
Quite good.
The acting was great. It's a recession, recession story. Guy loses his job. He gets really annoyed by this
Yeah.
character who
you know what?
begs all the time, but then he discovers that he actually has to do it himself.
But it's funny because, you often speak to people who sort of go, oh, and it's true, I've spoken to policemen who said this around here especially, in sort of rich areas, you have people begging, and apparently, they can make hundreds and hundreds of pounds a day, and
Yes,
it's
sure.
not a good lifestyle, and I'm not encouraging it, and I do genuinely sympathise with people in that position.
Read the Sherlock Holmes story, The Man with the Twisted Lip.
I might just do that, Sean.
Yes.
I might just do
But
that.
then
That's about a beggar
but then
who makes a
as they
gentleman's wage.
they both start begging from opposite sides of the street.
Yeah.
Of course, then they start competing with each other. So,
Mhm.
they all sort of come up with new signs on their cardboard. It's like why people should give them the money.
What I want to know, this is a pilot episode,
It's a pilot,
right?
yeah.
So how
Could it be a series?
exactly? That's the
Could it be
question
a
I want to
series?
ask you.
I could see it working. It's got the comic potential.
I wasn't sure. I thought this could they could extend it to
Yeah.
maybe like a 10-minute short, and it would work as a really funny short. Whether it be a series, I don't know. We'd have to wait to see what they could come up with in the script to actually bring you back. Because obviously, in this particular story, they're competing with the cardboards, but Can they do that every week? No, probably
Well,
not.
who knows? I'm sure there's stuff they can
for
do.
somebody's money, or competing for a spot, or I don't know. I think there is potential, and plus with the recession that's going on at the moment,
It's very timely.
It's kind of topical.
It's very topical, absolutely, yeah.
Topical humour and the internet. Will they ever live in peace? I'm sure they will do one day. That's It's a Cardboard Life, directed by Brian Beacock. I enjoyed it. Maybe not the best of the pilots, but certainly one of the top 5 or 6. And you're very welcome to go to celebratethe.web.com and vote for them if you would like to see that made into a full series. Do we click these ones or not?
Yes, I did.
Well,
I think
we should cheer every single video we ever watch. 3 cheers, that's what I say. Hip hip, hooray to It's a Cardboard Life.
Now, the one thing I'm going to quickly say, to interject here, about all of these 6 that we're reviewing here and the previous shows that we've done, is that probably all were made, all combined, for less than the donut budget on Transformers 3. And I think they've all shown far more creative talent than Michael Bay has. So.
Well, I think the great thing about this Celebrate the Web is actually it pushes you to be creative as possible. You've only got 7 days to come up with a script, shoot it, cast it, and then...
Have you ever heard Michelle Rodriguez's comment about the money hose in films?
Absolutely.
Have you heard it?
Yes.
Yeah, basically that Hollywood has a problem on a film, and all they do is just throw money at it until that problem goes away. And whereas here we have people who have to triumph over that adversity, and I think it actually it becomes the mother of creation that they don't have the budgets.
Indeed.
They actually come out with some really creative and clever stuff.
Well, talking of not necessarily having the budget, but certainly having the creativity, let's have a look at the other one which made our joint 5, Silver Lake Badminton and Adventurers Club. Have you got a little clip?
Play coy with us! We know you were talking with Fernando Fernando.
And now he's dead.
Really? That's awful.
No, it's tragic.
Yes, it's awfully tragic. Listen, guys, we've only met with him once. He came in, he tried to pitch some web series to us, but he never gave us any details. It's almost like he was scared of something.
Actually, beads of sweat gathered on his brow, mixed with his hurriedly put together but not quite disheveled enough to be done on purpose outfit, created an air of terror that you could feel in your soul.
Seriously? I just told them that he was scared. I literally just said that.
Yeah, but when you say it, I feel like no one really responds well to it. But when I say it,
because they're not responding because they're listening.
I think they're hearing more than listening.
I don't understand what the difference is between hearing and listening, but maybe you could explain it.
Well, I think you
explain that.
hear Jimi Hendrix, you listen to the Beatles.
Okay, guys, if you think of anything, give us a call.
Okay, well, we have just heard that in the chat room, the producers of It's a Cardboard Life are there, and they've said they have got the plot lines all plotted out for another 5 episodes.
Okay,
were it to
great.
the series, so that's
So
good.
I'll be following it.
Good. Well, Silver Lake Badminton and Adventurers Club. Then. We saw
really enjoyed this.
I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know what to make of that one.
Really quite bizarre, but it was so fun. And Cupid. We saw Cupid from Cupid and Eros. Did you recognise him?
Right. I didn't recognise him, but now you mention it, I was thinking,
When I watched it, I paid more attention to Eros. Cupid might be more your kind of thing, but I was more of an Eros kind of guy.
Okay, we don't need to go there, do we?
But it was. I thought it was
kooky.
It was very kooky.
It was
you know,
kooky.
it's sort of film noir that has a femme fatale at the beginning.
And how many?
And very clever use of
badminton.
42. This actually became.
The number 42
The number
as well,
42, yeah.
How many web series are based around badminton as well? Very few.
Well,
this may be the first.
This may be groundbreaking.
Yes.
The first badminton-related web series.
Well, the first badminton-related media.
Possibly.
I've never seen a drama series set within badminton.
You know, when the internet made it big in like the late 90s or mid to late 90s, you know, a lot of people found homes for themselves online. Fans of cult bands who aren't necessarily mainstream type bands. Fans of, minority sports like pro wrestling. A lot of fans of like sort of unusual and bizarre things found real communities for themselves online. Perhaps there is a huge badminton online following, and perhaps this will be,
the one that unites them.
The show that unites the online badminton fans.
This is, like I said, you said it was kooky. It is. I think if they can keep on with the surreal humour.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of in-jokes about actually web series. That in that clip we saw them. They were interrogating 2 producers of transmedia web series who had like 1 billion views.
Indeed. So who knows if that's another show we could get onto if it
I would like to see this
be on
as a
that
series.
show.
Well,
We
yes,
could we be on it?
Just like on Aiden 5.
Indeed.
Yes.
Aiden 5.
Which we didn't mention. We didn't mention,
Oh, yes,
guys.
we have
interrupt.
an appearance in
We
Aiden
certainly
5.
do. We spoke about this show a couple of weeks ago. We reviewed the first episode. Episode 3 has just hit the web, and we are stars. Elazar, we've got that screen grab. Have we got the
We
screen grab?
don't know because we lost it when we had our computer crash.
Well, we'll show it
Son
next
of a
week.
gun.
That's
Next
a
week.
reason for you to tune in. What episode is episode 3?
Episode 3
Aiden 5.
It's Aiden5.com is the website
Yes.
address. You can't fail to
And,
get it right.
and we may be putting in an appearance in Blood and Bone China.
Well, I think we will be. I'm definitely going to go for that. I've got to get a waistcoat.
We are going to be replacing Felicia Day. Our
I'm not-
face is
I'm
going to
not
be
sure
all
what-
over YouTube, taking over from her.
Well, we'll see about that. But we certainly got a couple of.
It'll
appearances
be
in
our
the
mission,
pipeline.
I guess. For we'll be like the thing. Can you spot us in different web series?
However, just to reiterate, we are not like the Golden Globes. This is not us accepting bribes.
But we would accept bribes.
You two might.
Okay, well, you're
Number 4.
inscrutable as always. Number 4, Follow, directed by Shauna Benson. Have you got a clip of?
Last time I let
Connor's birthday party. The last time we're all together.
Okay, next question.
I wish I hadn't gotten so moody.
On the infamous Catalina fishing trip, who took the bait?
Somebody come for a joke? Except our friend Josh had decided that he was going to. He ate the bait. I only did that because you dared it. That is not a good enough reason to eat
I
bait.
just kept telling myself it was sashimi.
I came in and he was throwing up in my shoe.
Don't ever drink Jägermeister with your
And that's why I ate the bait in the first place.
What happened on 4-2?
What?
What was that? What happened on April 2nd?
Like last year?
I tell you what, that is a show I could really watch more of. I
It was
really wanted to see more
really
of that
intriguing,
one.
wasn't it? It was
I
really
really want to see how
intriguing.
that one goes. It's 5 minutes. It's a pilot episode.
Yeah.
Of course, that's kind of the point of it.
Yeah.
But that was one that left me with more questions than answers.
Yeah, it was
And
the
I'll
mystery.
stick with that.
The mystery of this character who sort of gate crashes the party and that.
Mm.
And yeah, no, it does. It's very intriguing. And of course, it was such a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
really a cliffhanger.
And we don't want to spoil it for you, but check it out. It's called. Well, is that a hashtag? What does
It's
that
a
mean?
hashtag, yeah.
So hash follow. How do you pronounce it?
Hash follow. Yeah,
Hash
I mean,
follow.
it's hash follow.blip TV. That's
Well,
what it is, yeah.
let's not get bogged down in semantics.
But you can just call it follow.
Go to celebratheweb.com. The top 13 are on there. Follow is one of those, and we really strongly encourage you to check it out. I certainly got a big kick out of it.
And the 42 was actually a date 4-2, and it was inside a box containing the globe. They did to kill two birds with one stone on that very cleverly.
Clever stuff, and that's one that could certainly go to a series, if only to answer the many and varied questions and puzzles that it raised. I loved it. Possibly my video of the week, actually, but maybe that's a bit harsh to say to the other ones. But anyway, number 2, let's have a look at Target Kill.
No, we've missed number 3.
Have we missed it?
Number 3,
I apologise.
Relapse.
Relapse.
Yes.
I think I'm having a relapse.
Do we
I'll
have
check
Relapse?
back into AA directly after the show. Let's have a look at number 3. Relapse. Have we got a clip? We might not have a clip.
Might not have it actually.
Hello.
Oh yes, we do.
What do we got here?
Sorry, we've obviously with the technical difficulties, everything that we prepared in advance just
Is out the window. It's
out
gone out the window.
That's
So
the
we're-
wonders of Ustream.
No reflection. It's no
Oh, here we
reflection.
go.
All right. Okay.
Bertie, hi, it's Maddie. I need to talk to my agent.
Barry can't come to the phone right now. He has leukemia.
Jesus, Marcy, you're worse than lying to my mother.
There's no one here to listen to me speak. Fix it.
But I only work for my clients.
What are you talking about? Fuck you!
Call me back when America trusts you again.
So I'm eating the burrito, and I chalk up a couple lines, because I'm getting real excited, and it turns out that my nose is fucking broken. But the straw that I'm trying to use is like way too short to go up all through that busted cartilage, so I just gotta pop a couple of Valium. And I wake up like an hour later, and there's like flash bulbs and LA's finest, and
It's wonderful to have you back. Everyone give Isaac
Hey, why are we spending so much time talking about the great white failure over here?
Fuck you.
There we go. That was Relapse, about a rock star who's relapsing into his sort of drug and alcohol adult ways, and also a charming young lady who is making a name for herself as a famous alcohol
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yes.
A doctor. A doctor of alcohol.
Trying to cure them.
Yes.
And did you recognise her?
I did recognise her, and I couldn't.
You can't quite place her? Shall I put you out of your misery?
No, I want
to spoke out of
yeah,
our
you should.
misery
No, wait,
as well.
no, I do know. Oh, you better tell me, because it's bad TV. Yeah,
Squatters.
Yes,
she was,
of course.
The girlfriend from Squatters.
Oh,
Cooper
of course
Harris.
she was. I
The
did
delectable
recognise
Cooper Harris.
She was lovely, and she's indeed getting some nice comments.
She's already in the
chat room as
Facebook.
well.
They're still going on about her in the message board.
So yeah, this was probably the most professional looking.
Absolutely,
as far,
yeah.
I mean, the
Very
fact that they
slick
actually
editing
shot
as
that
well.
in a week,
Yeah.
and it looks as fabulous as it does. I mean, it was very, very well produced.
Mm-hmm. It looked good, and presumably, if that went to a series, that would be based around the room at the end, the doctors.
Doctor and that particular AA group. Yes.
Yeah. The AA group, but a fun show, a funny show.
It was funny. It was well acted, well written, well produced. I mean, it was just a very professional, and it was highly enjoyable.
Absolutely, and looked great as well. So that is Relapse at number 3. Number 2, let's check it out now. We've got a clip from
That's
Target Kill. Target Kill at number 2.
Is everything in place?
Everything's ready. Should I clothe him?
Should have done that first.
You won't forget how to put clothes on. Emma, you know where to go.
Fine.
Well, this was good. Target Kill. Sean, any thoughts on this one?
It was pretty good. I like the editing and the style of it. It was a bit more minimalistic than some of the other ones I felt.
Yes, but again, it was as a pilot, it works because
there's places for it to go.
It's so many questions in your mind that you say, okay, this should be a series, you know, and that there were some of the pilots that didn't make our top 5. Who they were really, for me, like they could
just
be
self-contained.
They're self-contained.
Videos,
They could be like maybe like a 10-minute short, but a short film only. Target Kill. This could be a series. It's like who is this
it
guy?
It could run and run.
Who is this guy? And why is he going to become this killer?
I guess we'll find out. Will we find out? We might find out. It's number 2 in our list of 6, our top 6.
Yeah, it's Elazar's number. I mean, you should go in there, check them all, and you may have a different.
Indeed, and you must vote for your favourite as well, because your votes count.
And you've only got to vote until Saturday.
Yes.
April the 15th, indeed. So, yeah, get down there and vote. CelebrateTheWeb.com.
And at number 1?
Put us out of our suspense, Elazar.
What's
I
number
can't
1,
take
Elazar?
it anymore. It's called Life's Little Ultimatum. Let's give him a chance to get the clip ready. It's number 1 of the video, Life's Little Ultimatum. Let's check out a clip.
No signs of any biological agent. Repeat, I do not have eyes on the package.
Abby, what's your ETA on extraction?
Getting a little ahead of ourselves, aren't we?
It'll be all right. Everyone just stay calm.
When you are in this position, you can say that. Until then, do not give me that stay calm shit.
Let me talk to her. Abby, do I need to remind you how time-sensitive this is?
You're going to anyway, aren't you?
If you don't do this quickly, your options will become severely limited.
I'm having a hard time figuring out what you want me to do.
Let me talk to her. Abby, don't overthink this. Get in there and do the job. You'll have the rest of your life for regrets.
That's very comforting, thank you.
Let me talk to her. Abby, it's not worth it. Get out of there! Get out of there!
Wait a minute, I think I saw something. I'm repositioning.
What is it? March 26th. March 26th. March 26th. I apologise for pulling that date out of my backside.
That was actually when the competition started.
I did say Saturday.
Yeah.
So, but what is it? It's March the 26th, and you can vote up to that time. Vote early and vote often. CelebrateTheWeb.com.
Watch them all. Watch all 13. Choose your favourite.
Have a considered response. Make write up the pros and cons. Make 2 lists. Check them twice. See which one is the best. And
I enjoyed Gone, which didn't make Elazar's top 5.
Well, we'll talk about Gone as well. Yeah. But Life's Little Ultimatum. I mean, I just loved this one. I really did, because it started off with the sort of scene that looks like they're in the middle of a robbery or something, and then it actually turns out it's a character drama about this couple, and this big question mark is like, should they be having babies now? It's a drama for the 30-something generation.
As I say, life's a little ultimatum.
I really liked the fact that they were able to mix that drama at the beginning of this thrilling element, and it made me kind of think of sort of like the fantasy elements in Ally McBeal, when she's like goes into her mind into daytime.
I did like Ally McBeal. Genuinely, I did like it.
Well, did you say the other week you liked Sex and the City?
I've got the box set of both. What's wrong? There's nothing wrong or strange about that.
And you're a man.
And Life's Ultimatum, again, this you could see this. I could actually see this as a TV series, and I think this is why I picked it for number one, because this could have actually this whole concept, this idea, could be a primetime television series.
Could be a primetime. Well, it didn't do Ally McBeal any harm.
It could be a fantastic web series because it could be something.
Indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's in your hands. Go to celebratethe.web.com, and if that is your favourite, Life's a Little Ultimatum, then go ahead and vote for it.
And Rob Paget, director.
Paget's on board. Yeah. If Paget's on board, there's your guarantee of quality.
Vampire Zombie, which we loved earlier.
We did enjoy it
when we first
earlier in the
started.
Many months ago.
Yes,
before Christmas even. I think
was it our first or second edition? We
I wasn't around then.
We weren't around. We had another video guy who we never speak of. What happened to him? No one knows.
I never met them.
Well,
I only hear the rumours.
He's a good guy, and we wish him well.
Yeah.
But please, let's move on. CelebrateTheWeb.com. It's a web series competition. They were all made in a week. They all had to include various things.
And that's really
the top 13 are on the internet. Vote for your favourite by March the 26th, and let's see what happens. Good luck to all involved. And now, okay, those are our videos that we have looked at.
So yeah, you wanted to talk about some of the ones we didn't make it, like Gone, for instance.
I really quite enjoyed that one. That again was, you were saying about not being a self-contained story, about it like being a pilot, and that one was a mystery about a guy whose wife, she disappears.
Yes.
And you don't know why somebody's taken her. He doesn't know why she's been taken.
I thought, I thought the concept worked really well. I thought it was kind of let down by the acting. When the cops come to find him, they're there suspecting he's a killer.
Yes.
And they just seem very lackadaisical about, just walking in. It's like, how are you, kind of thing, and just letting him walk out. What was the
I was actually more interested in the scenes where his wife is in the car with this guy, and you don't know
that is very
who this guy is and why he's taken her and why she's allowed this to happen.
She has allowed it to happen.
Yes.
No,
I found that was interesting. You are right. The scenes with the cops did
a little ropey. Ropey. This is Gone.
Yeah.
And it's a great another series you can check out. Didn't quite make it into top 5.
Check out all as I said, Elazar's picked out his 6 favourites, but that's Elazar's subjective opinion. So go in there and watch all 13, and then vote for which one you want.
We've got a clip of Happy Hunting, which was another one I kind of liked, but it didn't quite make it.
Well, let's see this
one. Let's show the clip.
Let's check it out. Happy Hunting.
Can you believe him? The nerve, telling me what to do. It's not fair. Who put him in charge? You know what I mean, don't you? Oh, you do. These girls gotta stick together. Help each other out.
Well, I can see why.
Quite bloody.
I can see why you'd have enjoyed that one.
Again, a bit of blood and cleavage. That's always going to appeal to us.
Absolutely.
This ended on a real high. I mean, the ending. You sort of see this. They look like they're sort of like a family of cannibals. In fact, that scene there really reminded me of the dinner party scene in Texas Chainsaw, because this girl's strapped in.
Yeah.
All this sort of chaos is going around her, completely mad. Cannibal people, and of course then you get this sort of cliffhanger that there's actually more of them out there. It's just the editing was just
not quite up to speed.
It just didn't quite up to scratch. There was just something that was just not quite there.
But maybe that's the kind of show that would benefit from a bit more time. These were made in a rush.
Absolutely.
Made in a week.
Yeah, everything was done. It was written, cast, shot, edited in a week. All of these, and that's what makes them so impressive.
And we are getting comments in the chat room. They're saying all the pilots were awesome, and I can't disagree with that. There's some great work all round. So please do check them out. Guys, that's celebratethe.web.com. I think it's time we should talk about a couple of issues on the internet this week. It's the question and answer session. But one thing that I wanted to bring up, I'm assuming you saw it, but maybe this is a bit of an assumption, as I'm springing it on you, is there was an incident of bullying in Australia about a week ago.
Yeah.
And basically a child who'd been picked on for some time had been, relentlessly bullied, and his bullies were filming him being bullied. and all of a sudden the big lad snapped and slammed the bully into the floor. Both guys got suspended from school, but the kid who was getting bullied has become a little bit of a sort of folk hero around the world for standing up to the bully. And I'm getting looks that say maybe this is an area that we shouldn't be exploring on what is essentially a light-hearted entertainment show. But I was thinking maybe it's something we could discuss in terms of the power of the internet and bullying.
Interesting.
There's a lot of bullying going on.
Here's a hot potato, catch.
Yeah. I run a couple of message boards, and it's astonishing how people go, I'm getting bullied on the message board, and things like that. It's like, and plus it's also the power of the internet. You video something and stick it on the internet.
Well, exactly, and now it's there forever. This is the thing. This is the thing, because presumably these guys in the past would have been bullying him for months, maybe years, and
no one would know.
No one would ever know about it, and all of a sudden
I just think it's bad when you say. I was more concerned when you told me that he got suspended as well.
Well, he got suspended for 4 days, but the bully for 21 days.
That's so typical of schools. That happened to me when I was
Everybody's
at school.
at fault.
That when a fight takes place, they don't say who started it. It's like you're all punished kind of thing. And
so down with schools, I think, is ultimately what we're saying here. But did you guys see the clips?
I did see another clip from Australia of a newsreader who was, when the Ashes were presented and England was getting the Ashes, and he turns around and goes, wow, look how fascinated they are by something so small. And his fellow female newsreader turns around and says to him, you would know all about that, wouldn't you? And on to the next story.
Indeed, again, another one of these priceless classic TV moments that in the past you would watch and think,
Did
I just
in
dream that?
Australia, and we would never have seen it. And now this female newsreader
well, that's
is
the thing.
known all around the world.
You now can't make a mistake on television without the entire world through YouTube knowing about it.
All about it.
Did you ever see the one of the girl who was on American TV who was crushing grapes? And then she falls out of, she's in a huge tub of grapes and she's crushing grapes on live TV, and she falls out the tubs and hits her head on the floor, and then she starts screaming and crying, and it's very funny.
No, it sounds hilarious, Sean. You're really selling it.
It's very funny.
Does anyone in the chat room have any questions, or perhaps they've got some clips that we...
Well, another YouTube star made it big this week in legitimate mainstream media as well. An 8-year-old rapper who's called Matty B on YouTube. He played John Cena in a skit with The Rock on WWE Monday Night Raw, and was by all accounts one of the best people actually on the show that night. He went toe-to-toe with The Rock, dressed up in John Cena's You Can't See Me gear, and got rave reviews for his performance. So he was discovered on YouTube, and all of a sudden on the #1 rated cable show between males 18 to 35 on a Monday night, just after prime time on cable in the US. But still, it's a good accolade to him, so well done, Matty B, the 8-year-old rapping YouTube sensation.
Yeah. And also, I was just talking to Elazar just before the show, that I was emailing with Felicia Day this week, and she's given us permission to use some clips from Dragon Age and the Guild, so we can do an episode reviewing those two shows.
Well, we must do that.
The Guild is almost going to take up an entire episode in itself. It's become such a phenomenon. That,
Indeed, we put it off for so long. We need to.
It's got all kinds of stuff going on with it.
So yes, maybe any of our viewers are probably big fans of the Guild as well.
Well, I'm sure plenty of them are. It's one of the top web series, and indeed it's a little bit strange. We'll do that.
Hits,
we will deal with that in a future.
Anything from the chat room?
Anything from the chat room? There's a lot of people thanking us for bringing up the bullying thing. So.
Well, it's just an interesting subject.
I feel vindicated. It is an interesting subject.
And there's thanks and the kudos they're going on, and the bullies were hoping to go viral. Instead, we're seeing how the net community actually has a conscience.
Indeed, none of your 4chan stuff. There's actually some great, amusing video, and I know it's terrible to see because the kid did get, I believe, a broken ankle, but I would say deserved. But there's some great videos.
Thanks for mentioning Cupid and Eros.
Oh, our pleasure. I did genuinely enjoy Cupid and Eros as well when we watched that a few months back. There's some great videos. The creative types on the internet have maybe dubbed it over with soundtrack from Street Fighter, because the larger kid who was being bullied did bear somewhat of a resemblance to Zangief. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, did he have a big scar down?
Not quite, but he did have sort of the shaved head and everything. Right. So a lot of
cyber uppercut.
He did a big sort of pile driver like slam, which you could imagine one of the baddies from.
I have my 3DS on order for Friday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Wow, cool. Well, guys, we started late, we're going to finish late. For that, we apologise, but that's pretty much all we have got time for. Thank you so much for joining us. We really hope that you will check us out again next week. Follow us on Twitter. We normally have the graphics up. We've had a few issues with that this week. But we're on twitter.com/ No, don't try. Oh, yeah, you can put that one up, actually. That's going to work. Twitter.com/thosevideoguys. Facebook.com/thosevideoguys. And YouTube.com/thosevideoguystv. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
And we'll be back here next week at 8.
We will be back next week
1 PM if you're in LA.
No, because the clocks will
12.
They will change. They will change for us or for them.
We now have our this weekend. We will have our daylight saving times.
I lose an hour,
which means we will now go back to our normal time.
But do we get an extra hour in bed? Or
No,
do
you
lose an hour.
Lose it.
Son of a gun. Okay, well maybe next year. That means I'm going to be tired for 6 months. You know what that's like.
Until October, until Halloween weekend when we get that hour back.
Well, guys, that's pretty much all we've got time for. But from myself, John, from Elazar, from Sean, we have been Those Video Guys. We will see you next time. Goodbye.